We're not here to make up the numbers, we're here to compete as well. This squad, with the power they have on their day, they can do anything they want.
Welcome to the Glassgirls network.
Proud sponsors of
Neve Deasy
and Mel Rogers.
And today we're here, first one of the new season. Very successful season last year, which saw us promoted into Tier 3. Pre-season friendly game we're in on today, but we're going to kick things off with, in my opinion, the big important one is bringing in 3 new members of staff. We've brought in a goalkeeper coach, S&C coach, and we've brought in Tash from West Brom, who's a very experienced Tier 3 coach as well. What are your thoughts on the new acquisitions on the coaching side of things?
I can see you looking at me there, so I'm going to answer that one, Josh.
It's just John. He's John.
Yeah. No, it's like I kind of mentioned off screen, we've all mentioned it, and we mentioned it on Twitter as well. It's been very clinical in the people that we've signed, so we've seen that we need a proper goalkeeping coach to support Amy. We've seen that we need to improve our strength and conditioning going into Tier 3, and having Tash involved as well from West Brom, Tier 3 experienced, female presence. I think it's all very well orchestrated, so I can't wait to see what they bring. And I'm sure that they're all, well, they are three members of staff who know the existing coaches as well, so the relationships are there. For me, it's just like a win-win, or every angle you look at it.
Yeah, definitely. I think with Jack coming in as well, Hench as he's more commonly known. You know, him coming back to the club. Obviously, he did a bit with the men and the women here before he left for Kidderminster Harriers men, and they obviously won promotion. So he's surely a lucky charm of some sorts. But yeah, to have him back, a guy who knows the club really well, a guy who gets everything that's going on here. With a good amount of experience at a young age as well. I think to welcome him back as well is really crucial for us.
And just to echo John and Kieran's thoughts as well, so you know, they've identified areas that needed to improve on, and you know, after being promoted to Tier 3, so it's going to be a step up. So those areas have been identified, and the coaches have been brought in to help them, you know, into the new season as well.
Yeah, following on from that, we go into the squad aspect of things. We retained most of the squad that we had, which got us into this tier. A few players have left through various reasons, but I'd like to say a thank you to all the players that have left. We saw glimpses of Angie and Sarah last season. Sarah scored a few goals down here for us, and the one that gave me a very good memory of last season was Lindsay. The goal against Leafield in the 118th minute to send us through into the plate. Very volatile moment in the season. One of the memories that will stick with me forever. And then a massive one for Kieran, who's been here for a number of seasons. Strong as Knox, very good player. And I'm sure it's a big loss losing a player of that experience and quality as well.
Yeah, I think it is because she just quietly gone on with it, didn't she, Karen? So, you know, you didn't really see too much of her in the clubhouse. She just kept herself to herself. She wasn't too vocal on Twitter, but she was always around for them 3 years that we got promoted. Three years on trot, she was always in our first team every time that we got promoted. So, you know, she went from probably like a first teamer to a squad player in the end. But I think that just showed how determined she was and how loyal she was for the club, and she didn't leave on bad terms, which obviously personal reasons, which suited her. And yeah, massive loss. How about yourself, Andy, with the other 3?
Yeah, I was going to say just on Lindsay, so I was gutted. You know, she was said she was leaving. So when she first arrived, I thought she's going to make an impact, which she did. Obviously, Josh mentioned that goal against Leafield. Fortunately, I didn't get to see it, but there's that, you know, pitch taken by Anthony Dunn, and it just shows every emotion on her face of scoring the winning goal. And I just thought, shame I couldn't see it, but it was like, it was a brilliant goal she scored from what everybody else had said as well. But yeah, so she did make a real impact and had, you know, helped the team, you know, in gaining that promotion. So, but she's not going to be around for the new season, but we hope to see her back down here for maybe for a game and be singing her name once again. But yeah, and just on Kieran as well, say 3 seasons with us, to say she's coming through all the tiers with us, to help us get into Tier 3 as well. So it's like, say she's moving on to pastures new, so we wish her all the best in what next adventure is going to be. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's sad sort of when anyone leaves, right? You know, no matter what sort of impact they've had on the club, whether you've been here for like a few seasons like Kieran has, or you know, you've only been here like a season like the other three have. You know, there's still people that we've built these connections with, and we've seen play God knows how many times and scored goals. But yeah, obviously, like we've all said, you know, wishing them all the best with whatever the future holds for them. I know Angie's gone on a God knows how many months trip to South America.
7 months.
So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe she's signing for Boca Juniors. Who knows?
Just pops up.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, like everyone said, you know, all the best for all four of them. And yeah.
It's very hard to just suddenly switch off. So when like a player leaves, you don't go through like 9 to 12 months supporting a player, singing the name, wishing them all the best, interacting with everything on social media, to just suddenly switching off and forgetting about them, do you? So, you know, it is very awkward, but obviously just part of football, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what football's all about. Players come and go, but as we've all done, we've all wished them the very, very best in their career, whatever they choose to do. They've all had an impact on the club, and we wish you all the very, very best for the future. We've brought in some new signings. On another note, we've brought in some new signings over the course of the pre-season. A few exciting ones as well. I'm quite looking forward to seeing them don the red and white shirt. Looking forward to the first game of pre-season that we can get down there and back the girls and watch. It's going to be very, very good to be back. I'm sure you all agree with me, we've missed it.
Yes.
So on to one of the new signings, Rosie Emberley. Emberley, sorry, it's going to sound like Emily, but Emberley. Yes, onto her. Very, very, very good acquisition from West Brom. Very, very good midfield player from what's here. I look forward to seeing you, John. You could probably go into a bit more depth on Rosie.
Just from what you've read and what I've heard other supporters say, and you know, people who've spoken to at the club already, you know, she's just that tier 3 experience. Not just tier 3, she's obviously been around the world as well. It's not just England where she's played. Yeah, absolutely. Scholarship as well. Knows Lexi from the past. And I just think it's just another centre midfielder that we've got with experience and who's young. You know, she's going to be determined, she's going to want to make an effort. She knows, obviously, Tash from West Bromwich Albion as well, so you'd like to think that they would have a good relationship working together as well. Not that that means too much, I'm sure she'll come in and settle and speak to absolutely everyone at the club, and you know, as fans we can't wait to welcome her as well. But yeah, I just think it just bolsters that midfield, because you don't know what's going to happen in 6-9 months time. You know, are our players going to be able to make it in tier 3? You know, is the fitness levels going to be okay? I also think the squad rotation is massively important this season more than ever, because they will be running the legs off for the full 90 minutes. Yeah. It's not like the games aren't going to be won within 60-70 minutes anymore, you know, so they will be playing for the full 90. So I think, you know, these additions to the midfield, where some people might be questioning it, I think it's massively important.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear those stories about sort of her experiences in, you know, Spain and America and things. Cause, I know that obviously Zoe has played in America as well, and I've really enjoyed hearing sort of what that brings to her. Obviously, it's a whole different way of life. You know, the football over there, they take it really seriously from such a, you know, young age, like college or whatever they call it. Yeah. So yeah, obviously welcome to Rosie. Yeah, I can't wait to see what she's going to bring to the squad.
You got anything to say on that?
Welcome to Stourbridge, Rosie, and so looking forward to see you out on the pitch performing for us as well. So bringing that quality, so being from West Brom tier 3, so just adding that extra dimension to the squad now, which, you know, going up into the new season as well is very much needed. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Just on that as well, is it great that actually signing Albion players there? Like 3 or 4 years ago, we were signing like Kieran players, and then like obviously you go one step further. Whereas now we're actually looking at Albion players, and it just shows how far we've come, and that in itself to me is an achievement as well. So it's, you know, hats off to how we managed to get like a first teamer from Albion to Stourbridge.
Yep, and then on to our next acquisition, Jessica Lowe from Leafield. Was, what I recall last season, she put her quad past us in the final game of the season. Very, very good attack-minded winger. Goals, assists, trickery, brings a lot to the table. So another one that I can't wait to see down here donning the shirt.
Yeah, so we spoke to one of the coaches yesterday, didn't we? And we won't name the coach, but like that he says to us that she's one of the best wingers that he saw in the whole of last season. So I think that is a massive credit for that, for that coach to turn around and say that. And that is something that we've been lacking last season. I think we've been missing like natural wide players. We've seen a lot of our midfielders drift out wide, depending on the formation that we play. But I don't think we've actually hit the nail on the head for a little while now. So hopefully, if she comes in and performs to a level that our coaches are expecting and hoping for, then that's another string to our bow as a club. Whether we play 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 or whatever, it's just another way of playing, and we don't always need to play that way, do we? So we might choose that one day we might not even have her in the first 11 or the squad. It all depends on what style of play we want to play on that day and what formation we want to play. But it just adds something else to us that we haven't got at the moment.
It anchors on to what you said earlier. That squad depth.
Yeah.
We've got that. We're adding depth to the team with the good quality squad that we've already got existing. We're adding more quality and more depth to the team, which could only help us in the right ways.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're like when we've unfortunately lost a player like Lindsay Glover as well, to replace her with one of the wingers that was one of the most highly regarded in the league last season, I think that just shows the level that we're at. People that are performing well in the league we've come out of want to come here and they want to be part of the journey and want to take this as far as we can take it. And that says a lot, about how we're running this place. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Jess in action. Hopefully some trickery down the wings, a few goals, I'm sure. Yeah, really excited.
She needs to get social media though, so we can start.
That is true. Jess, get yourself on Twitter or something. Come on.
Threads, that's a new one.
Yeah, get on Threads.
Saying just to add on that, say somebody like Jess as well, saying that a winger, somebody's going to test the opposition, run out and cause some problems, say trickery, but also creating chances, but also chipping in with goals as well. I think was it last season? I think she chipped in with like 11 goals from Mayfield as well. So that'll be great for this team as well. So somebody can contribute in terms of goals as well. But yeah, looking forward to seeing her play.
And then going on to final acquisition, if I'm correct, Lauren De Casto.
The worst kept secret in football.
I was about to say that, but from what we've seen and when we spoke to Lauren, she looks like she's going to be one of them that fits straight in. She looks like she's always up for a laugh as well. She's a big bundle of fun, I would say. Unfortunately, due to injury, she's not been able to partake in any pre-season, but we wish you all the best and recovery and getting there. I'm sure you'll all echo that as well.
Yeah, I think for me, she's like a Stourbridge person, not just a player. So we haven't really seen her play. We've seen like YouTube clips with here from other fans who have seen her play either for their team or against their team. So we're not an expert in seeing Lauren play, but what we have witnessed is Lauren as a person. So we've seen her at the club when she's been here before the season ended, supporting her friends, and we've seen her in the club. We saw her on the day where she potentially either signed or had the initial conversations. She came straight over to us because she recognised us and sat down and just spoke to us while she was waiting to speak to the coaches, etc. And I just think she's a lovely person, and I think the fact that the amount of fuss that was made on Twitter when she signed, it showed how much the fan base are really happy with the signing as well. So I can't wait to see her in a red and white shirt and actually out on the field cheering her.
Yeah, it's all very, very positive, isn't it? The way that the season's looking at the moment, the way it's planning. And then you've got to look at as well the players we've still got that we haven't mentioned in our reserve team. That we've continued to see more of your centres next year, who adds another dimension to your wide area that we've spoken about. Your players taste that experience of your McBailey's. We've got that many players coming through that pathway that we go on about so much. The depth that this club has is at the disposal is really, really good to see. Even during pre-season, I know the girls used David Lloyd's and done a Blaze fitness session there, and that looked very, very intense and it looked fun.
I don't know, I'm glad I wasn't there personally. I think that would have killed me off.
Well, we saw you try to do a mass run after.
Well, this is true. We saw Andy Wall try it as well, to be fair.
He died after half of it.
Yeah,
we had to feed him with Lucozade.
Yeah, I was a little bit intoxicated when I was doing it. So yeah, doing 2 laps of it and dying.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that we spoke about and heard about, isn't it? Like the fitness level and how hard they've worked over summer. And it's fantastic to be a part of that, or witness that, I should say. The fact that how seriously our players and coaches are taking. You know, it's not just, oh, we got promotion, so be it. We got promotion, and we know that we need to improve in certain areas, and the players are trying 110%, if not even more than that, to get to where they need to be. And I think that's a credit to our players in the club, and it's nice to be a part of that, isn't it?
Arcing back onto that, like even having Jack there, proper S&C, and that'll only benefit them. It'll only benefit the players, because they will have the right man, in my opinion, there to back them and make sure they are at 110%, make sure they are firing on all cylinders, and he will look after them most importantly as well. Like any kind of niggles, he will be the first one to say like no. So that is a very, very positive thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it says a lot as well about how everyone is brought into it. So, you know, obviously we've over the years we've had some great times down here, you know, with the girls. But I think now, as you know, as we climb higher in the pyramid, we need to get more serious. And the fact that everyone in the entire squad has sort of said, you know, that they agree with that and they're ready to sort of, I don't know, change maybe their lifestyles depending on football. Really, I think it says a lot about them. It says a lot about the club, how committed they are. And yeah, I think it's just a really job well done that everyone's sort of brought into this one idea.
Imagine being, I was taking it from my point of view now, I work 5 days a week. If I had to 3 days a week after a hard day at work, I've then got to do a hard training session, and then on your day off on a Sunday, you've then got to play a grueling match in the probably like the highest part of your career, you know, in Tier 3. That's a massive amount of energy and commitment there, with very little return in regards to financial. Obviously, it means a lot to them as footballers, but that's a huge commitment, isn't it? Just to be able to say that they do that week in, week out, and that's the expectation there, isn't it?
In my opinion, it's as professional, full-time as it can be without being full-time. Yeah. If you know what I mean. It's the commitment and the levels of training, the levels of intensity, the lifestyle changes that people are having to make. It's a very, very big step, and it's showing where this club is. If the commitment that they've got to do that, just to progress themselves and most importantly progress each other, because we saw last year they will all push each other to the very end. They will all work as hard as each other, and that for me is where this club's at. It's everyone fights for each other. They don't sit there and play for themselves. You've got to be the right player, and the bunch of girls, staff that we have here backing them is only going to improve throughout the season, I think. And more and more this club grows, you never know. And we will move on now to the pre-season game we've got. Starting off with Cheltenham, which is behind closed doors, which is unfortunate for us. We would all love to be there, cheering everybody on as always. What do we think about that? What do we think about the expectation, or what we'd like to see from the game?
It's awkward, isn't it, with pre-season, because like it's not just about results. Obviously, you want to go there and see where you're at. So you want to. I could be completely wrong here. I'm talking about from a fan's point of view. Maybe the coaches and players are completely different, but no matter what the score is tonight, it's tonight. Obviously, it's Sunday when we're recording this, and no matter what the result is, as long as whatever Mike and Andy are trying to get out of this game, as long as they've got that out of it, whether it be match fitness, trying a specific tactic, trying a specific formation, as long as they get that out of it, I'm not really bothered what the result is. I'm sure Cheltenham's a very good team, Tier 3. I think they finished middle of Tier 3 last season, the Southern League. So in itself, it's a tough game. So let alone trying new players, trying something new, whatever they're trying, it's just a practice game. And I think that to me is like the main thing. Just you're practicing what you've been doing in training, or what you want to do next season against very good quality opposition, and this is a chance just to make it happen, I guess. Yeah,
we did speak about it. It's the first time that the players will be getting any match fitness throughout the whole season. They've been keeping themselves in very, very good nick, but without playing a match, you don't know where you're at in terms of that match style game, because it's different when you're out there playing on on a pitch, it's a complete different style of fitness that you need. It's different concentration levels, different mental strains than just training. And as you said, the result today is immaterial. It's getting the fitness back into the legs and getting them raring to go for the first game of the season for me, the first proper game of the season.
Yeah, I think like I agree completely with what you said. Like the result is, you know, pretty much irrelevant. Obviously they'll go out and they'll want to win. They'll always want to win. But yeah, like you say, it's all about that fitness, that building, that, you know, welcoming the new girls in as well, right? You want to
integration.
Yeah, exactly. You want to
getting them into the team.
Yeah, yeah. You want to see how they do. You know, do they need anything altering to suit them, or you know, there's loads of questions, right? So I think it's just all about finding that. Obviously, as fans, you know, we want to see them do good. We want to be there when we can. But yeah, I'm just excited to be back when we can, really, because I just want to see football.
The same. I'm just missing it at the moment, but we'll soon be back in the stands supporting the girls. But yeah, just pre-season for me, it's not necessarily all about the results. It's like that, getting that game time, the match fitness, and even for the Andy and Mike, you know, to see what is working, what isn't, you know, and then getting back on the training field and going, well, this didn't quite work, but we're going to try this in the next game. So, you know, and they'll have all the like stats from the game, you know, and video analysis as well. So they'll be like, well, they can just dissect all that, you know, and they'll be putting plans together, you know, across the whole pre-season game and going into the new season as well. So yeah, so looking forward to getting back to a game, and then in the next couple of weeks.
Well, we sort of got our fix yesterday, didn't we, where we went down to go and watch the new 16s team, which is, there was two under 15 teams sort of merged into one from last season, and that performance was outstanding yesterday. It was really, really good.
Really enjoyable, wasn't it? Just to be a part of a Stourbridge match again, you know, and we want to try and do that as often as we can on Saturdays. So last season we went to the under-18s, didn't we? Because they used to play on the Saturdays. Obviously,
now they're picking development and their Sundays, which makes it a bit harder.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah, where possible, we'll obviously support some of the girls section as well on Saturdays.
I'm just saying, just on yesterday's game, even the second half, I think one of the coaches said afterwards, well, they could have just kept going towards goal and just, you know, smashing goals in, but they said, well, wanted them to pass it around, you know, crossing the ball. So like working on stuff they've been doing on trains. But yeah, it was a good performance, especially one of the goals in the first half, you know, from the corner, and then coming back to the player and then just smashing it in off the bar was like nothing like a goal like that, you know, in off the bar.
Yeah. Then we've also got Kelsa, Lincoln, FC United and Bolmere in pre-season coming up. Kelsa again is behind closed doors, so can't really go into much detail. Lincoln, we know quite a bit about. Well, we know quite a bit about Kelsa and Lincoln from last season. Lincoln were Kelsa gave us one of the best games down here. I've probably seen one of the toughest games
of theirs as well.
Yeah,
they came with a game plan. Kelsa did.
It was a very, very, very tough game. And I expect nothing less than the same. Really, it's a very, very competitive, tough game. The same with Lincoln. Like down here, I
think it was the second game.
So you can't really say much more about how that game went out. We kicked off and within 30 seconds we had scored.
Yeah, it was a tough game back at theirs.
It was a very tough, and then the reverse fixture towards the end of the season away at Lincoln was a very, very much different Lincoln side. They were a lot more competitive, a lot stronger when we played them at their place. And that again was a very, very, very tough fixture, but it showed our fight, our desire to actually come out of it with the draw in the end, but that probably one of the most vital points that we had at the time, because Doncaster had games in hand and were chomping at the bit at that point, and then that kept up the noses in front where Doncaster couldn't catch. Kept our nose in front, which is the fighting desire the players showed that day to come out of it with something was very, very good. Yeah. FC United, personally, I don't know a lot about. I know the two people to my right will know a fair bit about, John and Andy, because they know a lot about the club.
Well,
been involved with the club before.
I know John's looking forward to that game, especially building that rivalry, building it up. To say, for me, it's just just for the girls to, get game time and that, so even though I know John wants us to go and, well, smash them, but
No, I don't want us to smash them. Just like just 10-0 will be fine. No,
we're
lucky.
like that there.
No,
but
we think highly of FC United. We really do. That's why we can banter. So we sponsored one of their players before we actually come to Stourbridge 3 years ago. So we sponsored one of their players. We've got friends, close friends who are coaches and work as part of the media team. So they're Man United fans, much like ourselves. So we do know FC United very well, and it's great that we've been able to collaborate together. And the actual result of the game, it means nothing. It's just a great opportunity for a group of fans and friends just to get together and have a game between ourselves. Obviously, the players and coaches all want to see it slightly different to that, but no, it's going to be a great pre-season game. And you never know, we might have more of a serious game throughout the season in the National League Plate or Cup, so we can definitely look forward to that, absolutely. Yeah. And FC United got promoted last season. They're obviously getting a new manager there as well. We don't know who that's going to be. So they're going through a change. Even though they got promoted, they're still having a different manager. So they're going to be pushing, you'd like to think, this season as well. So all the best to them this season. Hopefully, not at the sacrifice of us.
And then finally on to our final game of pre-season, Boldmere. A team that, well, we've heard a lot about. We've seen what a former Boldmere player can do when she come to us last season in Lois Jeffries, and was absolute dynamite towards the end of the season. Very, very key player for us towards the end of the season. Very, very good. They were in Tier 3 last season, but suffered relegation back down to Tier 4, which I think is going to be a very, very tough season for them, because the teams in that tier seem to only be strengthening as well, so we don't even know. Yeah. With the squad that Boldmere have got, they should be there, but that league seems to be getting stronger and stronger every year as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting stronger and stronger, like you say. All the time I'm seeing on Twitter, everyone pretty much bringing in loads of different names, so it's definitely going to be an enjoyable one to watch. If anything, I'm glad we're out of it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. The game against Boldmere itself is going to be interesting. Obviously, like you say, Lois coming from Boldmere, Lauren as well. Obviously, I imagine she's going to be part of that game for us. But yeah, obviously coming from Boldmere as well. And yeah, sort of doing the swap. I guess we've gone from 4 to 3. They've gone from 3 to 4. I think it will say a lot about us. If we have a good performance against them, it will say a lot about how far we've come. As a club, as a team. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one, and I think it'll be sort of a great way to close out the whole pre-season period.
I'm glad you said that, because I think this is what the one game as the whole of the pre-season where I think results probably do matter. It's the last game before the season starts, and you do kind of see where we are today. We've just dropped in, we've just gone up, so we're pretty much the same kind of level. And I suppose if both teams try the hardest in this game, you can kind of see where we are, and hopefully we get the result there. And obviously this is one game that we wasn't scheduled to have, but obviously we've managed to find help each other out, and with a couple of cancellations that we should have had a couple of other pre-season friendlies, but Boldmere has obviously helped us out by having this game. It will be an indication of where we are, and we want to hit the ground running going into the new season by winning Boldmere. I think that would actually be a fairly decent statement and a bit of confidence boost as well.
Yeah, I'm just saying Boldmere are going to make that such a tough game as well, and so they've dropped down, we've gone up, so they sort of want to prove a point to us as well. But yeah, and you look at that Division 1 Midlands now going into the new season, it's a very stacked with good teams, and I'm just thinking, we won it last season by 12 points, and just if you took us out of it, it was a very close league, and I'm expecting that to be the same this season. So I think any of those teams in Division 1 Midlands, including Boldmere, can go back up. So be interesting to see how everybody gets on in that league. But yeah, we're looking forward to that game against Boldmere.
Yeah, finally for me, like that probably, as you said, is the game where you will find out probably the most about where the squad's at, because you're playing the team that have just tasted the level that we're about to taste. So we're going into that, and they've kept hold of the majority of their squad as well. So in a sense, we are going up against Tier 3 players. So it'll be very, very interesting, very, very good to see. how far we've actually come. We know how far we've come as a club in general, and can we go and pit ourselves against them? I think we can. I think we can go and pit ourselves against most teams in Tier 3. And as long as we play the way that we normally do, without fear, which is what we're quite good at. We're quite fearless when we play. We have a game plan, but our girls are fearless in the way they execute it. They are very, very good at what they do. It's the reason why they've had successive promotions. It's the reason why we're in Tier 3 is because we've got the right people behind the scenes pulling the strings, making the magic happen off the field, and you've got the right players on the field making the magic happen as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Just to wrap it off, what are we all looking forward to next season the most?
The double bacon cheeseburger behind the goal. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Chief announcer over here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to screaming when we score.
Honestly, I actually am missing that. You know, like I think it was something I obviously did last season for the first time, and you know I really enjoyed every aspect of it. You know, playing the music, you know, announcing the goals, and yeah, I've already thought of like you know so many new things. The playlist has got so much bigger. There's going to be so many more bangers coming on.
We need to start the playlist at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
But
yeah, no, I can't wait for it. It's going to be so fun. Yeah, honestly, that is probably one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to. Just being back, doing what I love doing, and yeah, just being here, seeing them hopefully win so many matches, and yeah.
And that for me, it actually brought a real match day atmosphere.
Yeah.
So as opposed to when we was tier 5 and we was playing most again at Hingley's and then the odd ones here. When we went into tier 4 and Kieran started taking over the PA, it brought a real match day atmosphere to it. You had as you said, you had the pre-match build-up with the music. You had the lineups read out. You had goals announced. It was so much more of a match day. It improved the experience so much for me.
Yeah, massively. The atmosphere inside the stadium was the best stadium that we went to, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Stourbridge fan. There's no other stadium that we went to in Tier 4 that could get anywhere near what we do here at the War Memorial Ground. What I'm looking forward to the most is Albion and Wolves. Hopefully on a weekday, you know, under the lights, whether it be here, Hawthorns, Molyneux. And I'm hoping it's going to be Hawthorns and Molyneux because I think they're massive games that deserve to be at the main stadium. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most, just to kind of see where we are now because we've played Wolves, you know, a few times. I think we played Albion a couple of years ago. It'll be nice to kind of see where we are compared to those two. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
We saw last season from the beginning of the season towards the end of the season when we played them in the County Cup final with Wolves, how much of the gap we had closed because we'd done a lot of things right that day.
Yeah.
And another day we could have pinched a goal or two. So it shows we weren't that far away, and with this pre-season, it's only going to get better for me.
Yeah. Just to add on that, it's just well, obviously watching football was just the whole day, you know, before the match, after the match as well. Match day burger, or would you like to say I just inhale a burger? I don't eat it, I just inhale it.
3 seconds. Look, you don't get a belly like that for no reason.
Should we try and get a world record? How quick can I eat a burger?
That's a new series idea, right? How quick can I do one inhale a burger?
But no, yeah, just the whole day for me, you know, spending it with you guys in the stands, you know, cheering on the girls, and so looking forward to us competing in, you know, in Tier 3 next season, and so I think probably all can say as well, they're looking forward to probably Newcastle away as well.
Yes.
And even Newcastle here as well, coming down as well. So I can see that being a very good atmosphere when at their ground and at ours when that team comes down as well. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
For me, it's being back involved in football in general. It's the whole day, welcoming all the big clubs that we're going to be welcoming down here. Your Lokes, your Wolves, your West Brom, your Forests, your Derbys, your Newcastles, Huddersfields, all down to the War Memorial, home or away. When we go to their places, it's going to be a brilliant experience. And on having everyone back together again, having everyone back on a match day, the pre-match build-up, the game, the afters, seeing the girls again, seeing the management, seeing the staff, just getting that feel back for it, it can't come around quickly enough for me. We all say, oh, the football season's a long, arduous time. It gets to like the second week we're out, and you're like, I want football back now. So
travelling up and down the country.
Yeah, travelling up and down up at the crack of dawn to get on a coach here, there, and everywhere. It's just I can't wait for the actual experience of being back and having this place rocking, because we've got some ideas of what we're going to do as fans next year and trying to get this place as bouncing as it can be on a match day, which hopefully you'll all see and you'll hear about. And just improves, hopefully the improvement in terms of
just being
competitive. We, as Andy Fisher's always said, we're not going anywhere to make numbers up. We're going to go in and be competitive, and the general improvement year on year has been astounding. I don't know how the guys behind the scenes managed to do it, because we said this last year, we're going into a league, it's going to be as tough as ever. There's going to be a few results that we don't like, and then we went into it, and as I said earlier, fearlessly. We was humbled in the first game, and then we bounced back in the only way that they know how as.
Yeah.
And they bounced back, done everything right. So let's crack on. Here's to a massive, massive season in Tier 3. Come on, let's get it going. Up the Stour.
Up the Stour.
The Stour.
There we go.